I feel like there's a very odd lack of attention brought to the idea of disorders development. There's a lot of disorders that develop from trauma, and it's not necessarily, I guess, shared that way with that context. I'm rewording what I said earlier because I think I can say it better and faster. I just think from what I've seen, and I don't know if this is entirely true, maybe I don't look into it enough. There are a lot of situations where people are brought up that have disorders. In the context, it is something that has developed from their past traumatic experiences and their core wounds as a person, but the way it is framed in the news and in the explanations of those things is like just that it is a disorder, and it's almost presented in a way that's like, oh, well, they can't really help it. Think about Munchausen by proxy is a story. You know, what's her name? Gypsy Rose. Yeah, her mother was diagnosed with Munchausen by proxy because it was characterized by an attention-seeking behavior, usually of a mother figure that where they get that attention by exaggerating or lying about, you know, medical issues of the one who they are taking care of. Fascinating that would be classified as a disorder right next to, you know, anxiety, which I feel like a lot of times is inborn. Still part of the mind, still something that I personally believe you can take control of. When I say take control of, I mean like that it is humanly possible, not that it's just something you can decide to do one day. I mean, since we're talking about disorders, let's use PTSD for an example. The process of overcoming that part of your brain is not something you can just flip a switch and decide to do. But I read a book called The Body Keeps the Score, and he was in a long-standing battle of trying to get more insight widely placed on disorders like PTSD. And, you know, bipolarism, like that there were these set few amount of like titles, labels, and people with vastly different types of trauma were all being placed in the same boxes. And he was saying that without the understanding of where this came from, you cannot properly treat it. Without the right diagnosis, you can't treat it. And really not much was done, even though he got many therapists, licensed therapists, to, you know, sign off on what he was saying and asking for and claiming. It was left basically the way it is. But many times there'll be someone that is doing something evil, like deeply evil, and it's like, oh, well, they're mentally ill. But why? I don't know. There is obviously things that you're born with and things that you develop, but why is there not a regular recognition of developed disorders and mental issues? Why is that not like common?